Hello everybody, welcome back to Planet Coaster 2 and welcome back to Silver Sands, where today we are joined by an extraordinarily special guest. I am very pleased to welcome the man, the myth, the legend, the one and only Taggy 3D. Welcome Taggy.
Hey Mineral, it's great to be here and don't know about that amazing intro, but it's great to be in Silver Sands.
I feel like it was only appropriate to welcome you with adequate pomp.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you're here today because we've been collaborating, finally, after all these... It has literally been... I was going to say after all these years, and I was like, wait, has it been years?
Yeah.
It has been years.
2 years, almost, isn't it?
Yeah, we're at 2 years now, or nearly there anyway.
Yeah, well, for those who don't know, it was you who encouraged me to get into the YouTube scene, so Thanks for that. And,
yeah, you hear that, everybody? You're welcome.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but it was you're a community spirit. Like, you encourage so many creators, and you're always in the forums, like pumping up everyone. So much appreciated.
Well, yeah, I don't want to take all the credit, obviously, but I was keen to get you involved on the YouTube, particularly because it was clear that you were cooking up some wild stuff, and the knowledge needed to be shared. Yeah, like you say, I'm a big fan of the community. The sharing of information, I think, is like what drives a game like this.
100%.
So yeah, big fan of all that. And of course, you're just an absolute mad lad genius. So the people needed to see it. But anyway. What brings you here specifically is that I was working on this bowling alley. I think I shared a photo of the exterior on Bro Nation, and then I was umming and ahhing about whether I was going to build an interior, and then in classic fashion I looked at some really good reference pictures and I was like, oh no, I cannot resist building an interior. So I started building an interior, and then before I know it, I get the little Discord DM sound going off. And who else is there but Taggy offering to make the bowling alley...
Punish himself.
To punish himself, yeah. And to make the bowling alley, I guess, can we call it functional? The player can interact with it.
Well, it's an animation.
Yeah, it's animated. So yeah, I said, if you want to punish yourself, that's absolutely fine with me. That brings us to the bowling alley here as it stands today. So I'll just make my way across the...
Which looks incredible.
Thank you very much.
I don't know how you get the vibe, but everything you do just fits so well. And that was part of the luxury for me, is having a look at this in detail firsthand.
The luxury lanes, if you will.
Indeed.
The exterior of the building is actually, and in fact quite a lot of the interior is based pretty heavily on a specific reference of a place. I can't remember where it is. I think it's in like Ohio or somewhere really random. A lot of getting the vibe is simply looking at a reference image and heavily borrowing.
Yeah, I hear that question a lot. How do you build? Well, you just break it down into smaller tasks, and that's what I've been learning as well, just by copying and learning from you guys. Indeed,
you've been cooking up some very cool actual park build going on lately.
Yes, stay tuned.
Stay tuned, folks.
How good is this? It's just so retro. I love it.
So yeah, we've got this classic retro interior with wood paneling and all the goodness. We've got the little kind of diner bar cafe eatery over here on the side. We've got the classic shoe storage, shoe rental.
Is that the foot spray I saw over there?
Yeah, we've got the foot spray, we've got the ball shining, all that good stuff. Over here, you will see we do have the Max Attack pinball machine.
It looks a bit short, doesn't it? I need to maybe make it bigger.
I don't know if it looks too short or if this brilliant one that Josh made is possibly too large. I'm not sure.
Oh, his collection's incredible.
Yeah, he's a wizard. I'm just looking at this vending machine he made now, and I'm not sure what these buttons are made of.
And the colour choice for the chairs, perfect.
Colour choice, yeah. It was all about kind of bringing together these retro kinds of greens, pinks, oranges. I do like how the pink light from the pinball machine is like illuminating this corner of the...
Yeah, it's a 80s sort of 90s pinball machine. It's sticking out a bit.
Oh, it's the bottom of the gutter piece.
That's what's so cool, finding all those different little use cases.
So yeah, as I was saying, the main reason that we've gathered here is because you've put together this, frankly, mind-boggling animation for the bowling itself. So I will just play that, and then we can discuss it. We will let the autosave go quickly. Oh, for God's sake.
This game was not made for playing with bowls.
It certainly wasn't. Right, okay, there we go. Play sequence.
Alright. Good luck. Hey, strike.
It's a strike.
Way.
Beautiful. And then we've got the ball return as well.
I love that part the most, actually.
Yeah, I mean, it is excessive, luxurious amounts of animation going on here.
Yes, it's ridiculous. Amount of work for a tiny little thing. You know, I've been calling out for keyframe animation. Give me something, please, Frontier, to make this easier.
Yeah, so, I mean, I'm sure everybody already knows at this point. Oh, I've gone through the wall there. I'm sure everyone already knows at this point, but to do something like this, there is a kind of ungodly amount of...
Yeah, you're not supposed to show this.
Sorry, I just had to... just so everyone can fully understand the kind of depth of what's going on here. And I don't think we had caught it, actually, because we were looking at the strike screen, but I also just want to show that after the ball goes through, you've even got the pin... This thing that comes down and clears off the pins.
Sweep bar.
The sweep bar, that's it, yeah. And then the new pins come down. I have absolutely no idea how you've done that, to be honest.
Yeah, well, if you check out my channel, I've got quite a few tutorials on making custom sliders. And so I think 95% of this is basically sliders stacked on top of each other and timing it. And each pin has its own sort of rotational knockdown animation. And then you can create your own strikes or spares or whatever you need. And once you put it all together, yeah, you get your little animation. That's why it takes quite a while. I think it's 40 seconds to reset the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's all one after another.
So the pins that come down at the end, are those separate pins than the ones that get knocked over at the start?
I'll have to remember. I think they are, and I think...
And then at some point you kind of swap them back over again?
Yeah.
After they've been reset? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, but
That's
it gives
very
a
smart.
pretty good illusion.
Absolutely, completely. The fact that I can't really tell how it's happening suggests that it's like...
Yeah, it's way down there. You can't see anyway.
Yeah, true. Yeah. So this is amazing, basically. You've absolutely...
Thank you.
You've absolutely heightened this build, because before it was just going to be...
That's incredible.
You know, an empty shell with nothing happening. So yeah, thank you so much, mate. I'm so glad that we finally got to collaborate on something.
My absolute pleasure to have even a little signature on your amazing part. So, are you going to release this one?
Yeah, it's going to be... I think we're going to have basically one more episode after this, where Duct Tape Forum's been building some amazing stuff in the file. So yeah, there'll be one more episode where we look at his stuff and a couple more bits that I've done, and then it'll be going up on the workshop, hopefully, in the next month or two.
Brilliant. And no mods, right? This is a completely...
Yeah, this is mod-free. I think I am technically using the little mod that hides the entrance gates on the rides, but, you know...
Optional.
That'll have zero effect on your ability to download the park and have a look around.
Well, everyone must get it when they get the chance. I had a lot of fun just sort of picking apart your buildings and learning so much. So
well, I'm glad.
Highly recommend.
Yeah, I mean, you have to come and download it purely just to come and have a, you know, experience the joy of bowling a strike at the luxury lanes.
And you can't miss. That's the
exactly. You literally can't miss. All right, well, Taggy, thank you so much, and I'll catch you soon.
My pleasure, and we'll do it again sometime.
All right, bye.
Take care. Bye.
Okay, and we're back in Solo Mineral World. Thank you once again to Taggy. Truly an honour and a pleasure to have him on the channel at last. And he's absolutely smashed it. So the rest of the episode then, we're just going to check out a few little bits and bobs that I've been working on around the outskirts of the park. Starting here at the other end of the kind of parking lot from the bowling and the diner, I've added in one of these kind of roadside signs just to tell you what's in this area, with a nice little reference here to the classic
Free Shavakadu! Free Shavak!
And then a lot of what I've been doing lately is just kind of finishing up a lot of these areas that were slightly unfinished before, just adding in some detailing around the backs of all the buildings, doing little odd jobs like adding in these kind of structural supports and things that I'd forgotten to do before, as well as just doing a kind of a once over on the landscaping everywhere, mixing the terrain in and using some of these awesome bushes that Duct Tape Forum put together for me. Back down at the parking lot over here by Cactus Land, the kind of back side of the lot here has been filled in with a little grocery store. You know, it's very simple. These are just kind of boxes with no interiors and minimum detailing, enough just to kind of get the vibe across. I think it works pretty nicely. Next door we've got this bail bond building. I'm honestly not 100% sure what what a bail bond service does. but I saw multiple of these while I was exploring the California desert on Google Maps. So I thought, well, that seems like the sort of thing that we need to get into the park. And then I can't remember if I talked about these in a previous episode, but I added these kind of roadside billboards in to each end of the road here. This is one of those builds that's like quite simple, but I'm I'm really pleased with it. Just because it has the kind of lots of crunchy little details on it, you know. We've got this cables coming up the side, and then, I don't know, I just find stuff like this really satisfying. And then, yeah, as you can see, I made some custom billboards for it, one for Pancake Palace, and then one for Mr. Chuffed. And yeah, you can call me Mr. Chuffed, because I'm pretty dang pleased with how that's come out. And then up here, I teased that I was going to be working on this, I think, in the previous episode, but yeah, up here we've got the Lucky Star Bar and Casino. And yeah, I had the idea for this towards the very end of the early access period we had with Update 9 and the arcade machines. And then as I started kind of working on it, it just, as you can see, it kind of ballooned into a more significant idea than I'd had originally. And before we go inside, I just want to shout out, once again, I know I've mentioned him a number of times on here already, but Bela Lugosi, whose cars are kind of filling out all the car parks on this map. For his, I don't know what's going on with the terrain here, I need to fix that. For their tremendous service, I've given them the gold parking space here. So yeah, shout outs to Bela Lugosi. As for the actual casino, I was kind of umming and ahhing about whether to do this, partly because I think I'm cautious about the idea of endorsing gambling in general. Not that I think it's like, I don't know, it's a really complicated topic. I just sort of felt like it just seemed like the perfect thing to add to this park. You know, we're on the road to Vegas. There is a casino in Palm Springs, and as I understand it, in order to legally build a casino outside of Nevada, it has to be on native land. So I think technically this would be a Native American casino, but you know, casinos, gambling, Native Americans, these are topics that I am not equipped to talk with any kind of authority about as an English guy. So we're going to kind of skirt over it. It's for the vibes. I think we can all agree that it's extremely Silver Sands vibes to have a casino. And yeah, I'll just bring you inside here. And yeah, the inside of the casino, we do have a bit of this kind of funky light glitch happening, which happens in the game now when you've got too many light sources in the same area. So this whole interior is kind of doomed from the start. I will just quickly show you that the machines, you can interact with the machines. Obviously these ones are all claw machines hidden inside them, so you can't, player can't interact with those ones, but we've also got some poker tables here. I thought it was fun to kind of like use a flat texture for the table and then to kind of supplement it with some 3D pieces just to kind of give it a little bit of depth, so it's not just a flat texture on there. And then over in this corner we've got some air hockey tables parading as roulette, and then around this side we've got the air hockey tables parading as craps tables. And yeah, I really wanted to do this kind of like uplit, recessed ceiling thing in here, because looking at reference images of casinos, this is something that basically, for whatever reason, every single casino in the world has this kind of uplit ceiling. And then yeah, over here we've got the bar. I'm using a ton of blueprints in here, and likewise actually, I forgot to mention this, but in the bowling alley there's a few blueprints. As usual, I will try to link all the blueprints in the description below. Yeah, that is the Lucky Star. And so lastly then, we've got the last little area over here. This is the little kind of residential street, which I've been talking about finishing off for months at this point. Obviously it all started with the Kaufman Desert House here. As you can see, I've finally gotten around to bordering off the plot of land surrounding the house. I've added in this tennis court at the bottom of the garden, which I'm sure would be uncomfortably hot most of the time. Built this little tennis racket out of posts. And again, I need to give a shout out to Duct Tape Forum, who put together this little kind of set of California desert foliage, which I've been using to kind of sprinkle throughout the area. Like I said to Taggy, I'll get him on in the next episode and he can kind of talk us through a lot of these bits and bobs, because it's just looking so good, I think. And that's very much thanks to him. And then yeah, on the other side of the road, we've just got a couple of these, this is a classic Eichler home. I think I talked about the Eichler homes during the Kaufman Desert House episode, but yeah, these were kind of classic post-war mid-century housing that was part of this initiative by a chap called Eichler, and he hired a bunch of architects to design these, quite frankly, I think anyway, beautiful homes. So yeah, we've got this one here. Much like with the other kind of buildings that we've added in this episode, you know, I'm not fully decorating these houses by any means. They're just meant to be kind of, I mean, it's literally all on the edge of the map, so it's just meant to be there for kind of set dressing mainly. But nonetheless, you know, they both got pools in the garden. This one next door is for sale, so, you know, the plant has died. The post box is full of post. And then the third house here we've got is this kind of classic Spanish villa style that you see a lot in Palm Springs and just, you know, California generally. And this one's even more simple. I really just wanted to build like for one of the first times ever, I've just literally built most of this house using grid walls and grid roofs, which I basically never do. But like I said, you know, we're at the edge of the map. And we're not going for high detail here, we're just going for vibes. Yeah, I think you can get away with quite a lot of vibes if you stick the right pieces together. So I really enjoyed using these resort windows. They just look perfect for this kind of modernized residential kind of house where you've got, you know, huge patio doors and stuff. Barbecue again, that's a blueprint. Table and chairs, that's a blueprint. It'll all be in the description below. And then likewise, we've got this little building site at the very end here for the next house. More blueprints. Shout out to Reach. I can remember specifically that these construction bits here are this little digger and this crane are made by Reach, and then this work light here is by PS Vision. So once again, links will be in the description. Shout out to them. But I just thought this would be a fun way to tie off the end of the street here. So yeah, I think that basically ties off the episode for today. Like I said, we will be back next time with probably the last episode in the series, at which point the park will finally go up on the workshop and people can have a look around it if they want to. Yeah, I'm dead chuffed with how it's all coming along. Thank you as always for joining me here today. Thank you again to Taggy, of course, for his absolutely blinding work in the bowling alley. But yeah, as always, thank you so much for the love and support on the episodes. As always, I truly appreciate it. And I'll catch you next time. Bye!